Alright, so this one I didn't exactly have any special expectations for. But I just like Margaret Qualley and Sigourney Weaver, so I figured I'd check this out. And stop me if this sounds familiar, but the story follows an aspiring young writer in New York. I know, right? Very original. Never seen that premise explored before. But hey, I'm kind of a sucker for these sort of movies, probably because I do a fair bit of writing myself. And I guess that part, the pursuit of an artistic endeavor, just resonates with me. But you know, this one really doesn't have an overly complex story or anything like that. It just follows this young woman who gets a job at a literary agency. An agency that, among others, represents the famed writer J.D. Salinger, who most people are probably familiar with through The Catcher in the Rye. And truth be told, the title of this does make sense, but at the same time, I can't help but to feel like this is a little bit clickbaity, because the movie has fairly little to do with Salinger. His presence is sort of felt throughout the story and kind of ties it all together, I guess. But he's not actually in the movie much at all, because it's not about him. It's about this young woman who wants to be a writer, and we follow her private life as well as her professional life. But as I said, there is this ever-present connection to Salinger too, mainly because of her work. And the movie does find more than one way to connect him and his story to hers. But anyway, I really enjoyed the central performance here by Margaret Qualley. She just plays this upbeat, positive, but I wouldn't say naive or gullible young woman. She's actually pretty sharp and clever too, and I just found her to be very likable. Sigourney Weaver, on the other hand, plays her boss, and I would say she's significantly more difficult to like. Because she's just a lot more aloof and hard and doesn't really want to show her softer side. But at the same time, I didn't really find her that difficult to understand either. And by the end of the movie, I liked her character quite a bit too, and her performance was really good. But the characters were actually far from the only thing I liked about this. Because it's a very clean and classy looking movie, so I enjoyed the visual presentation as well. And I thought that the sort of light and usually uplifting score worked very well too. And in general, I enjoyed the central story and just found the movie to be rather engaging. It is fairly light though, and it doesn't get too heavy, and when it does get a little bit heavy, it still doesn't really pack much of a punch, which I guess could be seen as a failure, but I still thought those moments were impactful enough for it to work. And well, the pacing was also very good, and time pretty much flew by watching this. So you know, at the end of the day, I just found this to be enjoyable. I liked it. It's not really anything special, but for whatever reason, I actually liked it. And I was thinking about this quite a bit, not really sure how to exactly phrase it, because I feel like it just did enough things right and not really much wrong. And while a lot of movies actually do a lot of things much better than this, somehow a lot of the time they still don't manage to be as enjoyable as this. I guess it just did what it was supposed to and wanted to and did it well enough. And as a result, I'm thinking about giving this one a low 7. Boop. However, would I recommend it? I mean, sure, why not? I really feel like it's a rather inoffensive movie, so I have a hard time imagining people hating this. But you know, maybe give this one a shot, or don't, after all. I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic.